All right, what's going on, everybody? We're officially live. I'm gonna wait a little bit for people to hop in here, but I also realize that this video goes onto our channel. People watch it later, and they don't want to just sit around and wait. So maybe we'll just jump right into it. So I wanted to unbox this Shell Cordovan that I've got. Before I do, I just want to explain. I've got a video coming up. I've had this title in my mind forever, and I've been wanting to try it out. I wanted to make a bag entirely out of Shell Cordovan, and I emailed Max at Riccardo from Toscano, Italy, and he was 100% on board. He's like, I love that idea. Let's do it. So I told him how much leather I'd need, and he put it in the mail and got it here way faster than I thought he would. But this is something I've been wanting to do, but at the same time, a little bit nervous because you don't want to screw this up. So anyway, I'm going to unbox this here on camera. We got Michael in the house back there. What's up, Michael? He's single, ladies. Ayo. Let me read some of these comments. What's up, Bradley Allen? Squishy. What's up? Brian Correa? Hey from Oregon, from Jevin. Roberto from Romania. Aiden Dunn, what's going on? Roberto, Christopher Drinkard. Hey bro, from Minnesota. Koki. You guys got some interesting names on here. Well played. Pablos Nicholas Hill says Shell Cordovan giveaway. No, actually, but I am doing something a little bit interesting. The plan that I've had for this video, my original thought was, well, I'll make a $2,000 or so bag and then give it away. But I don't feel like that would do as much good. What I'd rather do is auction it or sell it, and then all the proceeds are going to go to a nonprofit that I've been really excited about and getting into. It's called the Veterans Stand United. My buddy Dustin Haggett put it together, and they're doing a lot of cool things for veterans. So what I want to do is just take all the proceeds from this bag and donate it to them. Sean Daniel, afternoon from Michigan. Katrina, finally caught alive from Arizona. Cool. Glad you're here, Katrina. Konstantinos, hi from Greece. Aaron Debray, loving my Insta Special wallet. Nice, man. I'm glad you jumped on that. There's still some deals, by the way. I was going to update you on this later, but there's still a lot of good deals on our Instagram specials. You just got to go to our main profile, and then in the highlight bubbles, there's one called Specials or IG Specials. And I'm putting everything up there that I basically don't want to add to our site because they're just one-offs. Well, they're not even one-offs. Michael's been working on these, and he's doing them in batches, but it's kind of using one-off leather that we don't carry often. Just some random stuff that we've had laying around the shop. So, yeah, I just figured we'd throw it at a little bit of a discount, put it up there, kind of a VIP section. Kyle Hogue, awesome to catch a live show. Thanks for jumping in, man. Branded Heron Leatherworks. Hope all of you folks are hanging in there from north of the border. What's up from Canada? Greetings from Greenwich, London. Charity auction. Yeah, that's the idea. Can I get your shell scraps? We'll see how much I've got left over. Hey, from Springfield. Can I donate to that cause? I do leather work, just starting. I'm a vet myself. Yeah, let me see if I can pull up the website. Veterans Stand United. I think the website's just vsu.global. So you can go check it out. Just go hit up the website. I think they also have a Facebook page, but it's a cool cause. They're basically enlisting veterans to deploy all over the world, and they're helping people kind of take control of basic human rights that have been lost. Democracy's been in decline. Freedom of speech. They're basically like taking it. Let me just read some of these initiatives since we're talking about it. Okay. Internet's going slow since we're live streaming, but so freedom of speech, freedom of press, freedom to assemble, right to privacy, right to due process, security of person, all these basic, human rights. And they're going all over the world using ex-military guys to, whip these governments into shape, basically. And it's cool because, it's given a lot of veterans a real sense of purpose and something to be a part of, and kind of put their military history to work. And I just love what they do. Dustin Haggett is the guy that started it, and he's just an amazing guy. So anyway, I'm going to keep finding ways to contribute to this. This bag giveaway, or the auction, is kind of the first thing that came to mind, but I'd like to set up like a monthly donation and just figure out ways to keep helping out the cause. So anyway, let's get into this Shell Cordovan. Oh, let me get back to the comments. I don't want to miss anything good. Can you make a leather sombrero hat? No, but thank you for the suggestion. Greetings to you from Saudi Arabia. Katrina, I live at Bonner Road in Monroe. Oh, wow, we're giving addresses out. Okay. What's up, Jim? Can't wait to see the finished product. Watching from Yorkshire, UK. What's up, Brunswick? All right, here we go. Can you see this? I mean, I've bought a few Shell Cordovan pieces in my experience. It's been an awesome. This is some whiskey right here, also from Ricardo. It's got a little oil spot on there. That's from poor storage, I guess. But this stuff's just gorgeous. This is whiskey, and I'm planning on. I was just talking about this with Michael. We'll probably do a little batch of wallets out of this pretty soon. But yeah, this stuff's really nice. From the same tannery. Ricardo's been around since like the 80s. They're one of the few places that's still making Shell Cordovan stuff. You got Horween, of course, and Ricardo. Those are the only two I know of. I'm sure there's more, but it's slim pickings out there if you're into the Shell. And what Shell Cordovan is, it's Cordovan is a layer of the hide that you only get in equine leather. So it's coming from horse hides, and there's basically like two oval-shaped panels on the butt section of the hide, and that's where these shells come from. The reason it's so highly coveted is because the grain is so dense. This stuff, like Shell Cordovan's used a lot in shoe craft. A lot of like high-end dress shoes are made of Cordovan because you can bend it and stress it out, and it doesn't leave a crease or wrinkles. It just comes back looking perfect. It handles the weather really well. It's just incredible stuff, but it's crazy expensive. So I personally have never seen this much Shell Cordovan. And yeah, I wanted to share the experience with you. All right, here we go. Get out of here. Well, looks like we need a new blade on this thing. You know it's bad when it won't cut through paper. I just want to give another shout out to Max from Ricardo, or Cordovan.co is his website where you can pick up all the shells specifically from. But man, it's so cool he was down to be part of this, and just down to jump on. All right, get out of here. Packed with care. We'll see about that. Just kidding. This thing is packed good. I want to cut the leather. Easy does it. I'll just rip it. Woo! Well, that's interesting. Oh. That must just be some scrap that they were using to protect it. Is it? That's got an interesting look to it. I think they were just using that to cover it up. Threw me off a little bit. So I think I was mistaken. I was thinking there was 8 to 9 shells in here, but what I asked for was 8 to 9 square feet of leather total. So there's probably more like 3 or 4 shells in here, but that's still way more than I'm used to seeing. So let me put you up here and we can get a better view of this. Yep. This is great footage. Getting all shaky. All right. Dang, that looks good. There's one piece right there. The color on this stuff is gorgeous. This is natural. The Horween natural was always really hard to get a hold of. I tried ordering some a long time ago and could never get it. And I've seen this so many times. I usually get whiskey or cognac or something. And so this was the first time, natural was available. And I was like, can I do it in natural? And he's like, yeah, let's do it. So leather looks beautiful. Shell Cordovan has a really nice flesh side. The grain is so tight that you don't get any of that like fuzziness, loose grain area. It's just completely dense and perfect. In fact, a lot of people make flesh out Cordovan sides just because the flesh side's so beautiful usually. And there's always like the classic stamp. Love seeing that. So there's one shell right there. Set this one aside. Second one, just as beautiful. These are extra large shells. These are way big as far as like Shell Cordovan goes. I asked them to give us the biggest and thickest pieces you can get, because usually for a bag I like something a little bit thicker, like heavier weight, just because of the designs of our bags. And these are sitting probably right around 4 to 5 ounces. So it's going to be on the thin side, but luckily Shell Cordovan's so dense and tough that I think it'll do the trick for a bag. We'll see at least. And there's the last one. So it looks like we got about 9 square feet of leather out of these 3 shells. So that should do it for the bag, but they look good. Look amazing. Apparently you can request to have it either with a matted finish or gloss, and I'm usually more of a matted guy. Maybe it's just because I've had a little too much time with the harness leather from Wicked and Craig, which is super glossy. I don't know, I think I just kind of got desensitized to it, and I like the matted texture normally, but I did ask for gloss this time. I think it'll just make the bag really pop and look, as expensive as it's going to be. So, there it is. 3 pristine shells. Man, I'm both extremely terrified and excited to start making this bag. We'll see how it goes. Guarantee you I'll make some mistakes. I'm going to rewrap this later because I like the protection. I'm not going to throw that away. So anyway, there you have it. Some beautiful Shell Cordovan. I wanted to give you guys some updates though as far as like what we've been up to, what kind of things are going on. Let me get some of these comments though that I missed. All right, Vegas Bean, can I buy a piece of shell? You can definitely buy some, not from me though. I've actually put a link in the video down below, in the description anyway. You can get it at Buckle Guy, you can get it at Rocky Mountain Leather, and you can also get it at cordovan.co, I think is the website. That's like their main website that they sell shells on. Hello from Puerto Rico. Hey, Wit's in the house. Hey, girl. Japan does shell as well. Oh yeah, I'm sure they do. I could see that. Shinki Hikaku apparently is the tannery. Nice whiskey leather. It's really beautiful. Yeah, and that color is actually, it's technically called natural, but the whiskey is really close to that. It's just a little bit darker. Is it even worth it, or is it all just hype? How much better is it than top quality cowhides? Yeah, that's a good question, Brian. It just depends on what you're going for, because I would argue that Shell's definitely worth it. As far as like quality goes, it's so dense, and like you can feel the quality. I don't know how to really express that in a video, but when you feel it, it has such a nice hand to it, but it also gives you the sense that it's really like strong. Like it's not going to stretch out much. It's like it has longevity. It's going to stay the way it looks for a long time. That's why it's used in shoe work a lot. So I think it's worth it, but again, it's not something I would use on all of our products consistently, because for most people who don't understand what it is, they don't understand the value, and the price is so much more that it's kind of hard to justify. So I don't know. Yeah, it's hard to, whatever, depends what you mean by worth it, but I think that the value's there in the price. It's just a matter of like, does it work with your type of products? Jose's here. He's here, so let's go. Lost with Dan. Yeah, my Shell boots have lasted great. That's awesome. I read that one. To be honest, I'm not a fan of most Shell. I don't care for the real glossy type. Just me, I guess. Yeah, Jeff, I agree. I'm usually not a big glossy guy, but you can get it in a matted finish, which is cool. I haven't seen it in person. I'd love to get my hands on some Shell to play with, even if it was just scraps. Katrina Raven. I used to live on... More addresses being given out. No, that's the actual leather. The scrap would make killer wallet. Love the stressed look. The extra scrap is called Appaloosa. Max also sells that stuff. Oh, okay, yeah. I don't want to pull it out because I just set it all on there. But yeah, I think I've seen some of that. He even sent me a hide a while ago that felt similar to that. It's not quite as like dense as Shell, but it has that same kind of Shell feel to it. So never lusted after leather till now. I feel you, man. That's Michael, isn't it? Kanos Gaming. Don't throw that scrap away. What kind of bag are you making? So, I don't know. I had plans on making the number 60 Western, but after feeling it, I might change my mind on that, just because I'm afraid that the top handle, or the thickness of the leather, won't support the top handle. And I don't want it to like overstress it. So I might come up with a different design, maybe just something simple and unique. Maybe a new pattern to come out with. I don't know. I'm going to have to brainstorm that a little bit, because I want it to work with that leather. And I don't want to like sacrifice just because it's, I want to design the product specifically for the Shell and not the other way around, so that we make sure we're like doing it justice. Are you going to do a video on the bag you're going to make? Yes, definitely. That's the plan. I've had that title in my mind for a while. Making a $2,000 bag entirely out of Shell Cordovan, something along those lines. I think it'll be a fun one. I saw another video of yours where you talk about getting softer temper veg tan. You were making a makeup pouch. Do you remember what brand makes a softer temper veg tan? Yeah, there's a few different ones. I've seen some at Tandy, but I don't know if they still sell it. But the one I would go to is Buckle Guy has a listing called Vachetta Veg Tan. Am I saying that right? Vachetta. I'm pretty sure that's it. But it's really soft-tempered. I don't know if it's been milled, or I don't know. If it was milled, it doesn't have like the wrinkly texture to it. So whatever it is, it's really nice. It's like just a kind of a more plush, soft, bendable leather, but it looks just like natural tooling. It also happens to have a little bit better color, in my opinion, because tooling, as it ages, the natural tooling tends to turn a little bit more yellow and kind of like grayish. And the Vachetta tends to patina more with a red hue to it and a little bit more caramely, kind of, more of a rich brown color. So I like that about it. And, it doesn't really, I wouldn't use something soft-tempered for wallets, or else we'd probably be using it on a more regular basis. But I have been wanting to get some for a bag. Okay. How much was the shells? Have been wanting to get some for a while. Yeah, so it depends on the size. They usually are around like 1.5 to 3.5 square feet. These ones are definitely on the bigger side. The 3 square foot ones are like 350 usually, but an average shell is probably going to be around $250. Explain it this way. It's the Lamborghini of leather. Yeah. That's true. Hand stitching makes a product unique. I understand machine stitching makes business seem that it takes all the away the uniqueness. Yeah, I don't agree, Graham, but I totally respect your opinion on that. Okay, I'm gonna just jump into some of these updates. Here we go. So the videos I've been kind of slacking on video uploads lately, and I apologize for that, but I can only do as much as I'm physically capable of. We have a lot of things come up, and a lot of like tasks that I've dropped the ball on in the past. Like, just to explain it to you, that there have been different phases that I kind of have taken in my day-to-day stuff, and there was a phase where I was doing nothing but YouTube videos, and it was all I could do to keep up. So I wanted to have a weekly video up. This was like most of 2019, but also like I tried it a little bit this year, and it all came crashing down pretty fast, because if I'm doing a one-a-week video, it basically means that I'm filming, editing. It takes about a week worth of work, and as soon as I finish and get it uploaded and everything's like everything's there, patterns made, it's up on the website, everything's like working. As soon as I finish, I immediately have to start on the next one, and it leaves zero room for like my email inbox, working on the website, trying to fix machines that aren't working here in the shop, and just all kinds of stuff. So I'm trying to balance that, and I might try and stick to like more of a 2 videos a month schedule and see if I can still fit everything else in, but we're just figuring this out, just figuring it out. But I do want to get more regular with our video content, and we'll get there. Even if I have to get some help editing, we'll see. I'm just trying to figure it all out. But I do want to keep posting. I get a lot of comments. People are like, thinking I've fallen off the face of the earth, and I'm still here. I still post on Instagram every day, and I've been posting to YouTube like pretty regularly. So I don't know. I guess it's all perspective, But the next few videos, so one of I don't know the order I'm going to do it in, but one of them will be that Shell Cordovan bag. I'm excited for that one. But I also have some waxed canvas projects that I'm really excited to jump into as well. But just a few things that like kind of bottleneck that. I've been trying to get my hands on a dang binder, a double fold edge binder for my Texo, and I ordered it from Texo, and apparently the wrong size was ordered from the factory, so they had to back order it, and I'm still waiting on it. Anyway, it's coming, but man, it's taken so long, and I'm really anxious. I mean, like, this bag just turned out so good, and this was like my first foray into canvas, and I'm so happy with how it turned out. I just got to figure this part of it out. I can just show you from here. Like, this is what the interior looks like. It's just raw canvas. So I think like that's going to fray and kind of start to fall apart, and so it won't be good long term. But I think what I'm going to do until I get my double fold binding attachment is just I'll just do like a fold on the canvas before I sew, and then turn it inside out. It's going to be a little bit extra work, but I think it'll still work. It'll add a lot of bulk on the edges too, but maybe that'll be good for it. So anyway, I'm excited to get into some canvas projects. I also want to focus on some like shorter how-to tutorial, tips and tricks and stuff like that. But with that being said, I really need you guys to like send some recommendations in, like comment, email, whatever it is. Just leave it in the comments on this video. But it's just hard to put yourself back into the mindset of when you're beginning. I kind of forget like what things I struggled with, what questions I had about the craft. And it's hard to put yourself back into that mindset. So I need your help. I need all your questions. Like, whatever you're struggling with, let me know. Don't be afraid. Because that's the stuff I want to be making videos on. I want to be helpful. I'm not just I'm not just like dinking around here. Well, that's arguable. Michael Morrison, explain. Okay, I backed way up on my comments here. I've been thinking about getting a Texo 2750. Sweet, man. It's a good machine. It's a good machine. Another good option is it's the same class, but you could get the Cobra Class 26. So it's the same mechanism and everything. One thing I like the Cobra better is you get a brushless motor, so it's a little bit smoother. You don't have like the jerkiness. Sometimes when you're working the Texo, especially at slow speeds, the whole machine kind of vibrates because it starts and stops really abruptly without the brushless motor. It's got brakes in that. It's like I think it's called the family motor. It's got some brakes in there, so when it starts and stops, it's kind of jerky, where the brushless is really smooth. But that's really the only difference. Other than that, I'm not a big like rah-rah, brand loyalist when it comes to sewing machines. You can pretty much get anything. Most machines out there are clones of Juki's, and they all basically do the same thing. So the 2750 will be a good purchase, man. That'll be fun. How to use tan coat and make it look good? That's a good question, man. I don't know. I just go really light with it, but I've definitely had some struggles with it. It's weird. I assumed that it would go on like not so abruptly, but it's really streaky and I don't know. It's a little difficult. I'm still trying to figure that one out myself. There's an account called Horse Right Clothing on Instagram that I follow, and they make some knife sheaths with the most beautiful finish on their leather. And I asked him once what he uses, and he said that it's a combination of neat's foot and tan coat. He said it's his own like proprietary combination of that. I don't know what that means. Like maybe he combines them, maybe he doesn't. I don't know what he does, but whatever he does, it looks gorgeous. And so just from some experimentation in the shop, I've tried to kind of replicate it and do something that works for me, and I couldn't get the tan coat to work. So I usually just stick with sorry. I'm mixing it up. Tan coat's the one that works for me. Bag coat is the one that he uses, and it's just a lot darker and kind of streakier. So sorry, forget everything I said before. Tan coat's pretty easy to get a good finish on, honestly. It goes on, pretty mild. So do you like chrome tan or veg tan better? I definitely am a veg tan guy, but there's a place for everything. I kind of wish that oil tan leather wasn't in the same category as chrome tan, because like 80% of the world of leather being chrome tanned, most of that leather I do not like. But you look in like the saddlery world, you've got chaps, you've got cheeks, like all that kind of stuff uses like they'll use an oil tan side that's really beautiful and has some cool characteristics to it, and it's a lot more affordable. So for a pair of chaps where you're using a ton of leather, I think there's a time and a place, where like the oil tan works out really well. And same with our bags. I like to use oil tan every now and then, but veg tan just has the sweet spot in my heart. It ages beautifully. It keeps its structure. So I'm definitely I like to think that we're kind of a veg tan specialty brand, but we'll throw in an oil tan hide every now and then in there. Okay, let me see what else is on my update list. So the downtown store. I haven't really talked about this very much, but we have a little retail section of the Weber State downtown store in Ogden. So if you're local to the area, this will matter. If not, it doesn't, but go check it out if you're around. Right now it's really slim though. We started setting everything up in there right before COVID hit. So once COVID hit, it just exited my brain. I just totally stopped even thinking about it, because I'm like, the store's closed, I'm not even going to put time and attention into this. And we're finally, the store's back open and people have been going in there, and we sold out of everything we set up originally. And I went down and saw it yesterday, and I was like, oh no, this is not good. So we're going to put a lot of time and attention into that. Whit and I have a collection of stuff inside that we're going to bring down, restock the store. Bags, we're going to use a lot of the one-off stuff that Michael's been making with the random leather we've had sitting around. And yeah, we'll bring a bunch of stuff down there, t-shirts, hats. I printed a big 36-inch, 3-foot tall sign to put down there, and some like cards that kind of explain who and what we are. So I think that'll be cool because we don't really have much of a community impact, I guess. We've just, like most people here in Ogden don't even know who we are. We just kind of hide away in our shop here. So it'll be cool to kind of establish ourselves a little bit more in that retail spot, and it'd also be good to know if that even works for us, because I wouldn't ever want to invest in a retail location like a real one, a big one, that if I know that we can't really sell stuff in that type of setting. So it's all like uncharted territory, and this allows us to see if it works. I imagine it does, though, because you guys know how leather is. It's way more enjoyable when you experience it in person. You can smell it, hold it, open the bag, like handle it. That's the kind of thing that like sells it for me, at least. And it's hard to equate that in images. So I think it seems like it would be a really good way to sell stuff, but we'll see. I mentioned that. Okay, the Don Gonzalez Podcast just went up today. He just posted it live. I did it a couple days ago, and it was fun, man. Don Gonzalez is a legend. I love that guy. He's incredible at tooling. He's definitely like more in tune with the traditional saddlery type of work. He's apprenticed with expert saddle makers. He knows what he's doing when it comes to saddle repair and making saddles. So it was really fun to talk to him, though, because I've just gotten so much out of him. He makes a lot of YouTube videos, and I've learned so much from him. I've listened to a lot of his podcasts, and I'm always like, I don't know. I was just honored to be invited on that. So go listen to it. You can swipe up from our Instagram stories and see it. I'm going to be rebuilding our website. I've been putting a lot of time into that this last week. I'm trying to update the theme and like bring in more features to try and put more focus on our digital patterns and the online course. It's always been kind of hidden on our website. I wanted the focus to be on our physical products and like the brand, and then I would kind of hide the fact that we have some patterns available. And I'm changing my whole mindset on that. I'm gonna completely recenter and just focus on who we are and what we do, which is we sell patterns, online course. We do a lot in the helping people learn the craft and the business side of the craft, but we also sell physical products. So we're going to marry the two much better. The sites needed a wake up for a long time anyway, so it'll be good. I'm still a ways out, though. It's going to take some work. I'm also working on some new branding. I'm not personally doing it. I'm getting some help. I've been talking to a few different artists that I really love, and I want to do like a full branding package. It'll be really exciting to have kind of rejuvenate our image, our brand. It'll be fun. We've been needing that. That little bison icon, the little black and white bison icon, I made that way back in like 2013, and it hasn't changed since then. So it's been a long time. Let's see what else we got. I think that's it. Michael's doing good. You doing good?
Doing good.
He's been working a lot on wallets and the number 88. So let me show you this one real quick. This is a side of leather I picked up from Maverick. It's called Predator by Horween, and I proposed the challenge to Michael. I said, "Can you make a bag out of it?" And he nailed it, knocked it out of the park. It's just gorgeous. It's definitely on the heavy side because it's a really oil-heavy leather. But he did a great job on it, and I love this leather. I can't do this with just any oil tan leather. I found this one and bought it because it was like 9 to 10 ounces, which is rare for an oil tan chap side like that. So I got it, and it works for, the shoulder strap is heavy enough to not stretch over time. Ideally, in order to make bags like this, ideally we have two different weights of leather. We have a 9 to 10 ounce and like a 6 to 7 that matches. But you can't always get that. So I don't know. This worked well. Normally you wouldn't be able to make these corners like this on the gusset with 9 to 10 ounce leather, but this stuff's soft enough that it just worked out. So we're going to take this one down to the Weber State store, and people can hold it and experience it in person. But yeah, it's been fun having Michael around for, especially for reasons like that. A lot of these like side projects that I want to do, but I just flat out don't have the time to justify, into projects like this. So it's been really fun having him just knock stuff out. Also, our site's getting back in stock finally. A lot of our natural wallets that have been out of stock for so long are getting back in stock. So I don't know. A lot of you might not be our key demographic for wallet sales. I know a lot of you are leather workers yourself, but if you have been waiting for some of that stuff to get back in stock, it's happening. Let me see what comments we got here. What's a good cheap sewing machine? That's a really good question. But there's not really a great answer. I don't know. It depends on what your, cheap is very relative term. So I don't know. I think if you're looking for the cheapest of the cheap, your best option is to just find go to estate sales, whatever. You can find machines sitting in people's garages they didn't even know they had, and they might sell it to you for like $300 or $400. But the likelihood that it's the right machine for your specific type of leather work, it's going to be hard to find. So I think that the thing I always recommend is going to Leather Machine Co. and picking up a Cobra. I think it's the best starter package because you're getting a machine right out of the box that you're not going to have to do any work to. I mean, even if you go buy a Juki 1508, which is what I've got right there, great machine, but it does not play well with speed reducers. So you have to do all kinds of, funky engineering and bashing in the oil pan trying to get it to fit. I mean, and it still to this day makes a lot of weird noises because the belts don't line up perfectly. So I think, to get one right out of the gate that you're not going to have to do any work on and not cause you any headaches, I'd say go get a Cobra, either, if you want a flatbed, Cobra Class 20, like that Juki, or Cobra Class 26, which is a nice medium to heavyweight cylinder arm, or a harness stitcher. If you're doing tack, saddlery, holsters, heavy duty stuff, you can get a Class 3 or 4. And I don't know, that's the easiest to recommend because it's just low maintenance, low barrier of entry. They're not the cheapest, obviously. I mean, as far as the leather sewing machine market goes, it's sixes. I mean, everyone's kind of selling them for the same prices or same ballpark anyway. But if you're not willing to go try and find a used one and put a bunch of work into it to get it to work, then I would recommend that. All right. I love your brand style and the Bison's cool. Thanks, Jeff. I appreciate that. Is skiving a must when making something from leather? No, not always. It just depends on the product you're doing. If you need to reduce bulk in any specific area, like we skive the gusset edges so that right here it makes it a little easier to get around. But again, it depends on the weight of leather you're dealing with. And we usually skive a little bit on our wallets just so that, it reduces bulk. So no, it's not a must, but it's helpful. I love Don Leather Wizard. Yeah, he's awesome, man. I've learned so much from him. He's got the timeless trade tips and tricks, the stuff that's been around forever. He learned from the best. He's now the best. He's just it's awesome to learn from someone like that. Most of what I know is just from trial and error and just out here cutting and punching and trying to figure things out. But he's got those old trade secrets that have been around forever, and it's fun watching his videos. All right, just a question for a later video. How do you go from idea to finished product? I.e., when do you get a clicker die, and when do you decide you're going to sell it? That's a good question. That would be a fun video. So maybe I'll write that down after this, and we'll maybe do one on that. I think that's a cool topic. Because it is a lot to consider. I battle with that all the time. I make a product with a pattern. I go, I kind of like this, but sometimes you have to test something for months or even years to know how a bag ages or how it, you might get way down the road and realize, oh, I should have put more reinforcement, on this lid, because maybe years from now it'll get way too weak right here, and things like that. I don't know what'll happen, but sometimes you don't know until you've used it for years, and so obviously you can't test something for years before you buy a die, but it's definitely worth putting a lot of forethought and attention and like really giving it the attention it deserves before you invest in $300 worth of clicker dies. But yeah, maybe we'll do a video on that. One of the videos that I've had in mind, there's two people that I'd really love to have kind of be guests on the channel. Would be, one is my friend Carl Yipe. He graduated in product engineering from the U, and he every time we talk about products, it's so fun and interesting because his whole background is just based on engineering products and why things are made this way and why they shouldn't be made that way. And before he designs a product, like if he's consulting with a medical company or something like that, he goes into months of market research and development. I mean, it's this big long kind of experience. And it's funny because then when we talk, he's like, well, what goes into your designs? And I'm like, I don't know. I just make it and then sell it. So I've learned a lot from him, and I think it'd be cool to do like an interview with him and something we could all learn from, like what things do we need to be thinking about to make our products better, stuff like that. So I might have him on. And then another one is Steven Jones from Bag Buff. He's a soft goods developer for Moment, that company in they Seattle or Portland? I think they're Seattle. But yeah, he's awesome with making soft goods like backpacks, especially like ultralight stuff. He's even got some leather experience, so he's got serious experience in developing products, and I think we could all learn a lot from him. So we'll do something like that. Ben says, how are the headaches going? Thank you, man. I appreciate that. I think I did mention it in a few live streams, but no, it's good. I was mostly affected by that in 2019, I think, and it was debilitating. I think it was one of the hardest things I've ever been through. I still don't know what it's specifically diagnosed as. I was told it could be cluster headaches, but I've heard other things too, and I never got like a solid consensus. But yeah, just the most debilitating headaches. I would get them, and I would. I think a couple times I passed out. I would throw up, but like even just slight movements and sounds would just crush me. I felt like someone had my head in a vice clamp just closing in, and it was happening on a weekly basis, and it was debilitating. But I'd got a deviated septum surgery, and ever since that I haven't had the really, really bad ones again. I still get headaches like anyone else, but luckily I haven't had any of those, like those ones that I basically thought my life was ending when it was happening. It was scary. And the first one that happened, I was in a hotel room in Georgia. It was on my first trip visiting Bill at District Leather Supply. And he dropped me off at the hotel, and I went inside, and then I just like fell on the floor, and it hit me like a train, and I called Whit laying on the floor in the hotel, and I was like, what do I do? But I couldn't even talk to get the words out. So she was really scared. And she's like, should I call the cops or should I call Bill? What should I do? I was like, just stay on the phone with me. And I just like had to get through it. And eventually it was like a couple hours. I got through it, was able to like stand up and got some like medicine, and had to walk down to the Walgreens. And anyway, that was a wild time of life, but we got through it, babies. All right. Love your work and your personality. Greetings from Israel. Thank you. Appreciate that. Looking forward to listening to the Lost Trade podcast with Don and you, Parker. Thanks, Jeff. Definitely go check it out. It's a fun one. All right, we're sitting here at, how much time has gone by? 45 minutes. I think that's long enough, and this has been fun. Thank you for jumping on. And Make sure you're subscribed if you're not already, because that video of making a $2,000 or so bag entirely out of Shell Cordovan, that's going to be a really fun one. So, yeah, make sure you're subscribed. Thanks for jumping on. Thank you for all the comments and sharing our videos, all of that stuff. It means the world to us. We are literally surviving because of YouTube and because of your support. So thank you guys so much. Michael, do you have anything you need to say to the world?
No.
Nothing life-changing, innovative? Me either. All right. Well, it's been good, you guys. Go leave a comment down below, and we'll see you on the next video. All right, bye.